This show is part of OnePlace, a daily network of focused briefings across the stories people follow most.
Welcome to today's Sports Roundup. We are diving into the massive 2026 World Cup expansion and the latest headlines from the diamond, the court, and the golf course. Let's get started.
The 2026 World Cup group stage draw is finally set.
FIFA reveals the full schedule for the expanded tournament.
Shohei Ohtani dominates in his first pitching start of 2026.
Ohtani proves he is still a two-way force for LA.
All 48 teams are confirmed for the summer showcase.
Lionel Messi shines in a potential final home farewell.
Dan Hurley explains his viral moment with a referee.
Italy's World Cup curse continues after a shocking exit.
Tiger Woods announces a break following his recent arrest.
Bosnia and Herzegovina celebrate a historic World Cup qualification.
First, the World Cup draw. The road to the 2026 World Cup is officially mapped out following the draw at the Kennedy Center. This tournament is going to be massive, featuring 48 teams across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Argentina enters as the defending champions, looking to become the first team to repeat since Brazil did it over 60 years ago. We already knew the hosts' placements, with Mexico in Group A, Canada in Group B, and the USA in Group D. The draw has now filled the remaining slots, setting up a grueling path for every nation involved.
It is fascinating to see how the groups have landed, especially with the expansion to 12 groups of 4. The top 2 from each group will advance, but the addition of the 8 best third-place teams makes the math very interesting. England, France, and Spain are all eyeing that trophy, while the US is under pressure to deliver its best performance ever on home soil. With matches spread across 16 cities, the logistics are just as intense as the competition. Fans can now start circling dates on their calendars as the kickoff times are being finalized in Eastern Time.
Next, the full schedule. The 22,200 is truly going big, marking the first time the tournament is hosted across 3 different countries. While the US and Mexico have hosted before, this is a brand new experience for Canada. The schedule is packed, and for the first time, the eventual semi-finalists will have to play 8 matches total to reach the end. That is one more than the traditional 7, adding a significant physical toll on the players. FIFA has also implemented new rules to ensure the top 4 ranked sides, like Argentina and France, stay on opposite sides of the bracket until the very end.
The knockout stage is where things get really wild with the new format. We are looking at a 32-team single-elimination bracket starting right after the group stage. This means the margin for error is thinner than ever for the giants of the sport. FIFA released the precise times and locations for all games on December 6th, giving teams a clear look at their travel schedules. With 78 matches in the US and 13 each in Canada and Mexico, the travel demands will be a major storyline. It is the biggest World Cup ever, and the schedule reflects that massive scale.
Now to MLB news. Shohei Ohtani made his first pitching start of 2026, and it was a statement performance. Facing the Cleveland Guardians at a chilly Dodger Stadium, Ohtani threw 6 scoreless innings, allowing only 1 hit. That hit didn't even come until the 4th inning when Rhys Hoskins doubled. While he showed a few flashes of wildness with 3 walks and a hit batter, he was largely in control, racking up 6 strikeouts. Manager Dave Roberts had high expectations coming into the season, even suggesting Ohtani expects to be in the Cy Young conversation. If this first outing is any indication, he is well on his way.
What was really interesting was Ohtani's altered pitch mix. His velocity was down just a tick from last year, though he still touched 99 miles per hour. He relied much more heavily on his mid-70s curveball and his high 80s splitter, rather than just leaning on his signature sweeper. This evolution in his approach shows a pitcher who is constantly refining his craft. Even with the occasional lapse in command, the Guardians' hitters couldn't find a rhythm against him. It is a promising start for a player who is attempting to dominate both sides of the ball after another major surgery recovery.
More on Ohtani's performance. Tuesday night was a powerful reminder that Ohtani is just as dangerous on the mound as he is at the plate. This was his 101st career start, coming almost exactly 8 years after his MLB pitching debut. Last season was a slow build-up as he returned from his second Tommy John surgery, but this year the reins are off. Dave Roberts noted that Ohtani's feel for his breaking ball has improved significantly compared to last spring. He can now shorten or deepen the break at will, all while keeping that high 90s heater in his back pocket for when he really needs to blow someone away.
Ohtani wasn't just pitching, though. He was still contributing as a hitter. He walked twice during the game and added a single later on, maintaining a very high on-base percentage, despite a slow start in the batting average department. Roberts emphasized that when Ohtani is on the mound, he views himself solely as a pitcher and wants to be the best in the world at it. The Dodgers are more than happy to indulge his two-way ambitions when he produces results like this. He has now completed 6 innings in 5 consecutive regular season starts, showing the stamina is definitely back to elite levels.
Back to the Cup. The full field of 48 teams is now set for the summer of 2026. This is the first time we will see 3 countries co-hosting, a significant jump from the dual hosting of South Korea and Japan in 2002. 11 U.S. cities will host the bulk of the matches, including major hubs like Los Angeles, Miami, and New York. Fans can catch all 104 matches across Fox and FS1, with a new innovative streaming experience being launched for the tournament. The groups are headlined by giants like Germany in Group E, Spain in Group H, and France in Group I, all seeking glory.
Looking at the groups, the competition is going to be fierce. Argentina and Lionel Messi are in Group J, while Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal are in Group K. England fans are already asking if Harry Kane can finally bring it home as they lead Group L. The scale of this event is hard to wrap your head around, with 78 games in the U.S. alone. Every match will be available in 4K, ensuring that the global audience gets the best possible view of the action. From the historic Estadio Azteca to the modern SoFi Stadium, the venues are ready for soccer's biggest stage.
Next, a Messi milestone. Lionel Messi gave the fans in Buenos Aires a night to remember in what was likely his final home game for Argentina. In a farewell friendly against Zambia, the 38-year-old legend scored a goal and provided an assist in a 5-0 rout. The atmosphere at La Bombonera was electric, with the crowd giving him a standing ovation and pleading for one more World Cup trophy. This performance was a much-needed boost for the defending champions, who had looked a bit lackluster in their previous match against Mauritania. Messi's vision remains elite, setting up Julian Alvarez early before finding the net himself.
Coach Lionel Scaloni had actually issued a warning to the team after their poor showing against Mauritania, threatening drastic measures for the final squad selection. It seems the message was received. Argentina started a lineup very similar to the one that won the 2022 final, though Rodrigo de Paul was out with an injury. They opened their World Cup campaign against Algeria on June 16th in Group J. With Messi still performing at this level, the dream of a repeat is very much alive. It was an emotional night for the country, seeing their hero shine one last time on home soil.
Now, Dan Hurley's explanation. UConn coach Dan Hurley has finally addressed that viral moment with referee Roger Ayers during the Elite Eight. After Braylon Mullins hit a massive three-pointer to take the lead against Duke, cameras caught Hurley appearing to bump heads with Ayers. Social media went wild, with many fans wondering why a technical foul wasn't called. However, Hurley clarified on a podcast that the interaction was actually meant to be celebratory. He said he has a great relationship with Ayers and honestly thought the ref was coming over to give him a chest bump to celebrate the incredible shot by his freshman player.
Hurley went out of his way to call Ayers a cool-ass ref and insisted there was no bad blood between them. He mentioned they were cracking jokes and laughing throughout the game, even having his arm around the official during timeouts. While the internet saw a confrontation, Hurley says Ayers was simply trying to communicate how much time was left on the clock. It is a classic example of how a single camera angle can distort a moment. Despite the controversy, UConn moved on, and Hurley seems more focused on the bond he shares with the officials who handle the high-pressure tournament environment.
Next, Italy's ongoing struggle. The Italian curse has struck again, as the four-time champions failed to qualify for the World Cup for the third consecutive time. It is a shocking downfall for a nation that won the Euros just a few years ago. Their hopes were crushed in a penalty shootout against Bosnia and Herzegovina. This follows their failure to reach the 2018 tournament and a heartbreaking loss to North Macedonia in 2002. On Tuesday, they actually took an early lead through Moise Kean, but a red card for Alessandro Bastoni in the 41st minute changed everything. They fought hard while a man down, but couldn't survive the shootout.
It is hard to believe that a team ranked 12th in the world will be watching from home again. The history of this curse is becoming legendary for all the wrong reasons. In 2018, it was blamed on an unpopular manager and an aging squad. In 22, they dominated matches, but simply couldn't score, famously taking 32 shots against North Macedonia without finding the net. This time, the red card was the catalyst for disaster. Italy is now officially the highest-ranked team to miss out on the 2026 tournament, leaving fans and pundits wondering when this cycle of disappointment will finally end for the Azzurri.
Now, Tiger Woods' statement. Tiger Woods has broken his silence following his DUI arrest last week, releasing an official statement on Tuesday. He announced that he will be stepping away from the game for a period of time to work on himself, both personally and professionally. This news came just hours after he entered a not guilty plea in court. While the statement didn't mention the legal proceedings directly, Woods acknowledged the seriousness of his current situation and expressed a need to seek treatment. It is a somber moment for the golf world, as many were hoping to see him compete in the upcoming Masters tournament.
The PGA Tour quickly issued a statement of their own, offering full support to Tiger during this difficult time. While no specific timeline was given for his return, it seems almost certain that he will miss the Masters and other immediate events. This departure marks another challenging chapter in the career of one of the greatest athletes of all time. Fans are left wondering what this means for his future on the tour, but for now, the focus is entirely on his well-being. The golf community is rallying behind him, hoping that this period of reflection and treatment leads to a healthy recovery.
Finally, Bosnia's historic win. Bosnia and Herzegovina are heading to the World Cup after a dramatic victory over Italy in the playoff qualifiers. The match was decided by a 4-1 penalty shootout that sent the home crowd at Bellino Polje Stadium into a frenzy. After Italy took an early lead, Bosnia found an equalizer in the 79th minute, through Haris Tabakovic. They took full advantage of Italy being a man down for over half the match. In the shootout, Bosnia was nearly perfect, converting their first 3 attempts while Italy struggled, missing 2 of their shots. It was a night of pure joy for the home nation.
The hero of the night was Esmir Bajraktarevic, often called the Milwaukee Messi. Born in Wisconsin, he stepped up and calmly converted the winning penalty to book Bosnia's spot in Group B. It is an incredible story for the young player and his team, who showed immense resilience to stay in the game through extra time. Their goalkeeper, Nikola Vasilj, also played a massive role, making a crucial save in extra time to keep their hopes alive. While Italy faces another period of soul-searching, Bosnia and Herzegovina are preparing for the biggest stage in sports, proving that anything can happen in playoff soccer.
That's our show for today. Follow us for your daily briefing on the stories that matter most. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates from the world of sports.